What's hot right now?
Me.
Are you hot?
Oh, no, I'm not. Wait a minute.
Okay, I was about to say.
Lil Nas and his
Montero
his
video?
affinity for the devil.
Yes. Lil Naz X and his affinity for the devil. Like, what did you think of the video?
I thought it was a great interracial softcore porn. Very good.
Interracial? The devil? What race is
devil
the
was
devil?
red.
The devil? I was about to say,
The devil was red.
You know what? Josh knows where I was going with
Where are
this.
you going? Are you
Since
going
you
white?
said,
You
since
going
you
white?
said
Wow.
interracial, what race is the devil? The devil is what? What
Why
devil?
does the devil have to be white?
Because it's what devil? It's never black devil. It's always white
Okay,
devil.
so
It
Jesus
rolls
is
off
black
the
and the
lips.
devil must be white.
Absolutely.
Now
Jesus
we're
definitely was black.
stereotyping.
Yeah. No. Jesus is black. That's a fact.
Where does it say in scripture that the devil was white?
It doesn't. It
No,
doesn't
you're
at all.
just judging.
But it's funny. It's funny though.
Look at
It's
that
funny.
nice
It's
huge
funny.
brush
It's
you
funny.
are painting that picture with.
Okay. All right. So let's get to the video, right?
Oh, you don't want to talk about that? Okay, we'll go on to your point. Go ahead.
What did you think of the actual song?
I mean, for what it was a nice, well-written song.
All
mean, for what it was. I know what you're trying to get me to do.
Yeah, man, I just want you to tell the truth.
The video was awesome. I think it was awesome. The video was good.
Yeah,
I don't like it, but the video was done very well.
Okay, good. All right, see, like, I don't like it, but the video was done well. Like, it was an expensive video.
The artistic
effects.
value is intrinsical
Right.
in that point.
Right.
It is.
Yeah,
Because
no, I
it's very
totally
good.
hear what you're saying. First of all, I think one of my biggest problems with the song is that it gets classified as a hip hop song.
Because he's black.
Yeah, because he's black. So what?
And they don't know where else to put
Yeah,
it. And his name is Lil Nas.
So, what really gets under my skin is that hip hop is a culture, right? And it has, and it's regional. It changes by where you are. It'll change ever so slightly, right?
Sure.
The musical expression for hip hop is traditionally rap music, right?
Sure.
So now R&B music does slide into there also, and
Yes.
so does soul music, and so does everything. They're all derivatives. But the problem with Lil Nas X is that when people say that that's hip hop music, it's like hip hop doesn't have any rules. Like I said this to you, if you take a banjo and put a banjo in a metal song,
And an 808.
that's not a banjo and an 808 in a Metallica song is not metal. It's not. So you can get this dude singing. First of all, that song is corny.
Which one?
The Lil Nas X shit is whack. The song is just whack. It sounds like
Wait, which song are we talking about?
the Montero song.
Montero? I like it better than Old Town Road.
Once we're gonna get to Old Town Road too, right? Because first of all, Montero is not a hip hop song.
No.
It's a
At
pop,
best, it's pop.
It's a pop song, right? That shit sonically sounds like a Shakira song from 10 years ago.
Does that mean I can't classify it as gospel?
No,
Why not?
it's definitely not gospel song.
Why not?
Gospel music. No.
Talk about religion.
Yeah, just because it's talking about religion doesn't mean it's gospel. That means
what
that
makes it
if that song is gospel, then Metallica's Unforgiven is gospel.
Could be.
If that song is gospel, then the whole East 1999 Bone Thugs and Harmony album is gospel.
Could be.
No, it could not.
Why not?
Gospel is supposed to be in worship of God.
Well, everybody worships differently.
Okay, fine, but like gospel is supposed to be in worship of a Christian God. Like I'm pretty sure that someone
I have a
that the
question.
Muslims that when they do their music they don't call it gospel. I'm not sure if the Buddhists have.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So, if it's in worship of a Christian God,
Mhm.
would that also classify it as a deity? No.
Well, deity just means God, though.
Okay.
Right.
So then, if he's worshiping Satan, which is part of Christian scripture,
Mm-hmm.
then it could be gospel.
No. So, it can't. The gospel is the word. So here's the thing, right? When people run into a problem is they start thinking that the devil and God are opposites, which is how can you be? Not opposites. They think that they're the same, that they're like positive and negative, right? They're opposites.
Why
They're
are they
not?
not?
Or like they're equal? Because first of all, in the scripture, Satan is an angel.
Sure, fallen angel.
Right? Well, angels nonetheless. He's a created being. If anything, Satan's opposite of another character in the Bible called Michael. Michael and Satan would be opposites. God and Satan would never. That doesn't even make any sense. So you're equal to the thing that created you? No, that's beyond. And in fact,
isn't Satan the antithesis?
no. In the book, Satan actually has to come to God and before him. Like in Job, he comes before God when God calls all the angels together.
Yeah.
He didn't have a choice. He had to do it. Right. The book of Job is a whole nother story, but he has to come when God called him. He does what he's told. Does that make sense?
I get it because he's an angel.
Right.
Fallen or otherwise.
Fallen otherwise. He knows who God is.
Anyway, so Lil Nas is earning $20 on Satan's lap.
Bro, he gave Satan the wild lap dance.
With push-ups.
Oh, bro, see, look, man.
Hey, he's pretty good on the pole.
You know what I find crazy?
He was. He had very good splits. I noticed the toes pointed. Good job, Lil Nas. I see that those pole dancing classes have paid off.
The poor guy is grading his form.
Well, I bet you don't realize the relevance of those thigh-high boots.
Please tell me the relevance of the thigh-high boots, please.
It allows you to grip the pole better. See, you didn't even know. There was an athletic attribute to those boots. They weren't just trying to feminize him. He did look pretty feminine. But
it wasn't the baby hair in the long braids, in the waist-long braids?
No.
Oh,
I've never seen that be a feminine trait. I can't
in the painted nails and the Lee press on shit.
It was all part of the video.
Yeah, it's to me, this shit is corny.
Absolutely, it's corny. Of course, it's corny.
The song is whack. The video is corny because it's trolling. It's trolling.
I will say yes, it is trolling, but I also think that it has relevance for him. Assuming, I'm going on the assumption that the things that he's written about his past and his history and struggling with his sexuality is true. Okay. So if I look at those things and say that those things are true,
right,
then the song makes sense to me in an expressive capacity.
So what happens here is that he penned an open letter to himself. Right, to
supposedly.
his 14-year-old self. And this is where I'll run into an issue, is because the same critique that I levied upon Cardi B about being the sexualization of a female form being empowering is the same critique that I will levy upon Lil Naz X about the sexualization of a gay male being empowering, right? Because he wrote this letter talking about, it's a very open letter, and it's very open-hearted, and he's talking about his struggle being a 14-year-old boy and not telling everybody.
Yeah, how he was never going to come out.
Yeah, how he wasn't going to come out. But when you watch that video, those ideas are not presented. And he technically becomes a part of the problem, because I'm thinking forward. I'm thinking about next year being in my classroom and one of my little boys is going to tease another 14-year-old boy using that video. They're going to call him Lil Naz X. That is literally going to be a slur. I can set my watch to when they're going to use that as a slur.
Sure, I get that. I totally understand that. But here's the thing. He's entitled to that expression.
He is entitled to that expression, but I don't believe that expression doesn't come without consequences. Like, if you're going to say that shit, then don't get mad when people get mad at you for saying that shit.
But I don't think he is mad.
So if the song is intended to inspire others that struggle, right?
Sure.
I don't believe that you can cause healing through provocation.
I don't know that he's trying to get healing. I think he's trying to get even.
See, that's okay. Well, then what's the point of presenting the letter then? What's the point of saying I'm doing this for others that have struggled like me?
I'm just trying to get even. Well, because that's selfish. To show that there's an outlet that they don't have to hide. That you can be strong and you can say what you want and act how you want.
Right.
I think in art, right? And I will absolutely classify what he's doing as art, in my opinion. Whether I agree with it or not is irrelevant. I feel like it is an artistic expression. And he's also a young individual.
Right.
I'm assuming he identifies as a he, him.
Yes, he, him.
I just check.
Whatever
use the pronoun correctly.
Right.
These are new times.
I don't believe that, because what happens is, now everyone, I don't think that outrage in of itself is effective for helping the plight of gay people, just going forward. Listen, if you're the minority, right? Your group is the minority. That means the majority can always be hateful because there's a billion people that'll support them.
Okay.
Right? And the idea of like turning the other cheek, that's a Jesus idea. It's the same thing that Gandhi said. It's the same thing that Dr. King said about loving thy enemy, right? About the whole nonviolence thing, is because like provoking these idiots does nothing but harm the path, right? So here's the point. I know I have a bunch of gay colleagues that I work with, right?
Oh, you have a gay friend?
I don't want to say that, but one of my
well, you were about to.
Yeah, his name is Derrick Pierce.
Don't get me twisted.
No, I have a gay colleague, right? And he's a brilliant instructor. He's brilliant at his job, and he's
especially
amazing.
For being gay.
He's an amazing person. He just happens to be gay. And what I'm saying here is that his sexuality means nothing. You can love the person for who the person is.
Yes.
Right? And I think, though, what happens is when you're provoking people. You're literally leaning on the stereotypes. That's why this shit is cheap. That's why the video is cheap. That's why the imagery is cheap. This shit is trolling. He's literally trolling.
Okay, but what's wrong with that?
Okay, I can tell you what's wrong with that, because dude is a pop star,
Yes.
right? And what happens is Old Town Road was a humongous hit.
Right.
Right? Like, I think it's got over 100 million views on YouTube.
Sure.
But it's only got like 360 something dislikes, right?
Okay.
And the problem with being a pop star is that you hit a ceiling. Once you hit that ceiling, listen, that Old Town Road song is almost as remember Sang in the Gundam style, the Korean dude, right? Did we get another song from that dude?
No, of course not.
So what does this guy have to do to reinsert himself into the consciousness?
No,
He's got other
I
songs.
get that portion of it, but
Right.
that is now where the marketing comes in. He's doing a job. He has a career.
Listen, there's no difference between that stuff that he's doing and what Tekashi 6ix9ine is doing. Like, there's no difference. There's no difference. You are provoking
I
response.
think you're going to lose me on that one.
Bro, it's edgy.
Tekashi is a fucking. I'm not trying not to curse. You doing good today too. You only did one. I only did one. Tekashi is a bumbling idiot. I mean, and I say that as aggressively as I can. That dude has no business making anything that even sounds like music. He's a moron who has a marketing team, or he did a great job of marketing himself. I don't know. But he is literally the reincarnation of stupid as a person.
So, back to something that you hinted at earlier, right? What social media has done today is literally blurred the line between famous and infamous.
Absolutely.
Like, both are marketable. It doesn't matter if you're famous. It doesn't matter if you're infamous. Both are marketable.
I agree.
And what's even crazier, we live in a time period where outrage is high capital. So what this guy is doing, he's literally just poking because he knows it'll work. Listen, Old Town Road was contrived. We have a black dude doing a country song, right? And there are two versions of the song.
Right.
The first version kind of hit. It wasn't really that big. Then Miley Ray Cyrus jumps on the song and it goes global. It's massive, right? So what I'm saying here is that there are people sitting in a room, right, that kind of create this shit. This is pop music, right?
Gary Vee talked about the cross-pollination of country and hip-hop, and I'm using the term loosely.
Right.
Hip-hop, right?
Right.
And by hip-hop in this capacity, I mean a black dude
Right.
who's doing a country song to some sort of a hip-hop beat. You know, I don't think that Lil Naz X is hip-hop even remotely. He's not even in the ballpark, nor do I think he wants to be.
No, I don't think he wants to be at all. All I'm saying here is that things that are shocking. Listen, I honestly don't think that the hate of the video is actually rooted when it comes to hip hop. When it comes to hip hop music, like, the culture that we most closely, are aligned
Real
with.
hip hop.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with. It has less to do with the Satanism and more to do with the sexuality, right? And we know this because listen, that East 1999 album, Dear Mr. Ouija, would you please tell me my future? Will I die of murder? They're casting spells. 3-6 Mafia. RZA had that group called the Grave Diggers. I got a song called Cups of Blood. Ozzy Osbourne is biting the heads off of bats. Yeah,
He's the king of that.
Like, what is it? Iron Maiden has a mascot named Eddie, and Eddie is a zombie. And on the album cover, Eddie goes to hell and chops off the devil's head. It's really wild looking. He's holding the devil's head in one hand and a bloody axe in the other hand. So these are old tropes that music has been using forever.
But take it out of the context of music and sexuality has been an entertainment, period, end of discussion.
That's true.
Like it generations, hundreds and hundreds of years, it doesn't matter where it is. So you can't unmarry the two.
No, you can't. But remember, we're talking about, we initially started this conversation talking about how much we watch 5-minute clips of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? 3-minute clips of things, and how collectively society has changed, right?
Yes.
So because we as a collective group have evolved into consuming information in such small chunks, it makes these music videos, it makes these, from Cardi B to Lil Nas X, it makes it actually more detrimental, right? Because, so here's the thing. Where are the positive representations of gay males? Like Canada Josh, right? Canada Josh is gay male. He was Mr. Gay Canada, right? And if you go on his Instagram, he was
does it say
Canada Josh.
Does it say Gay Canada A?
Gay Canada. Hey, put a picture of yourself right here, Canada Josh, right there. Canada Josh, right?
Do you have a picture of your? Did you get a sash or was it a crown?
That would be dope, right?
I don't know. I don't know what they would give him.
Well, the point that I'm trying to make here is that it's a positive representation, and he didn't have to get naked to do it. And
he might have been shirtless.
That's fine.
We're gonna find out.
I guess we are gonna find out. But the point I'm trying to make here is that, like, where are the positive gay doctors? Where's the positive representations outside of things that are sexual?
Maybe they're not speaking up.
See, I don't know about that, man.
I'm just throwing it out there and giving it as a food for thought. Maybe they're so busy being a doctor or a lawyer or a professor or one of the absolutely normal pursuits of life. They just don't.
They just
care.
may not even be interested in it. Yeah, man. Because I look at my gay 13-year-old boys. The boys get it so bad in middle school. They get it so bad, and I think about it, and I was like, yo. If there was another gay male that was like, you know, upwardly mobile, productive, like a beautiful person, it would give this kid some hope that all the negativity that it receives from society isn't actually warranted and you can be successful anyway. And my problem is I don't believe that sexualizing a human being is empowering at all. That's why that shit to me is fucking corny.
Scholar.
I think very deeply.
Sinner.